Grand Rising Cosmic Family. So, this video is going to be centered around setting sitting your ego to the side. Now, you could say it's not, but to me, you feel me, that shit can be one of the hardest things to do. You feel me? Is to set your ego aside for the sake of what's right, to have like certain conversations that can be difficult or tough, you feel me? Especially when you were wrong in a situation, you know what I mean? And sometimes you gotta sit that ego down, go to a higher overstanding, you feel me, of the situation. Or as my cousin like to say, like view things from a eagle's perspective. He say something like that. And just get like the bigger picture, you feel me? And once you do that, you feel me, and you go to like apologize or like have a conversation of understanding or whatever that requires you to put your ego to the side, like you 9 times out of 10 you gotta sit that ego out, man, because it's not gonna help you, you know like it's not gonna help. And I'm just speaking from personal experience, and I'm sure that y'all, you feel me, my fellow reflections also have experiences too where you gotta sit that ego out and rise to the higher consciousness, you feel me, to accept accountability for your wrongness or your mishandling of a situation. And it could be a tough pill to swallow, but you gotta swallow that shit. Like, sometimes you gotta put that pride, that ego to the side. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And while we're on this topic, like, when you are listening to someone, actually listen to them. Don't just hear them, listen to them. Because I used to do this myself, you feel me? And I'm sure some of y'all do this too, because we are all learning, you feel me, and growing and evolving, with every day and with every teaching, with every video, with every meditation, whatever the case may be, with every breath, period. You know what I mean? Just every breath in general. So, listening is not hearing what a person is saying while preparing what you're about to say next after they're done talking. That's not listening. That's called a combative stance in a conversation. Listening is when you actually look that person in their eyes or in their mouth, whatever helps you, you feel me? And you really just silence your thoughts and just pay close attention to every single word that they say. So that way, you will really be able to repeat back what they said, you feel me? And barely be able to miss a word, you feel me? That is listening. Listening is key. Communication is key. Like you hear people talk about how communication is key, communication can solve so many things, and all we need is communication. But you don't, you rarely hear about the magnitude of communication. Or like, well, you do when you hear, effective communication. So yeah, you do. But adding on to effective communication, like that can accomplish so much. But effective communication, diving into that is, you know what I'm saying, is not just talking effectively and running your mouth effectively or even stating great points effectively. It's also listening, you feel me? Duality. To have a conversation, to have communication, There has to be both speaking and listening. And a lot of the times we like to dip more onto the speaking part of that situation that is communication. Correct me if I'm wrong, you feel me? You could be at the video, you could look at the video or whatever and be like, that's not true. Or I don't do that. You feel me? You could do whatever the fuck you want to do, but this, I'm speaking like, general facts. You feel me? Because a lot of people do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's okay because we're learning. We are learning. But yeah, like thinking about what you're about to say next while a person is talking to you is not listening. Even if you hear their words, it's not listening. You can even hear and retain every word that they're saying, but as long as you are still thinking of what you're about to say next, that's not listening. That's hearing them. You know what I'm saying? That's not a conversation. That's like a verbal battle. You know what I mean? Like the goal is to have effective communication, meaning effective speaking and effective listening. Duality, there has to be both. Cause if it's just two motherfuckers that want to speak, they're not gonna be speaking to each other because they're not retaining what the other person said to give effective speaking back, to give proper and effective communication. You know what I'm saying? So if it's two motherfuckers just speaking at each other, not really listening, that's not a conversation. You know what I'm saying? That's just two motherfuckers talking at each other. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even say talking to each other. They talking at each other because they're not even listening to one another to the point where, it can be a conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's just a word match. You know what I'm saying? A verbal battleground. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to be in that situation. Cause that shit get crazy. And I know because I used to always be very defensive when it came to conversations. Somebody's talking to me, I'm already thinking in my head what I'm finna say next. Shoot, they don't even gotta be, being defensive, you know what I'm saying? Thinking in your head what you finna say next to combat that person verbally. It can also be like when you are in a group of some shit and you are listening to someone speak, or you just talking to somebody, that's giving you gems or giving you game on the phone, you feel me? And you thinking in your mind like what you want to say or what you want to add on to that, you know what I'm saying? But you ain't really listening. That's also ineffective communication as well. Because you trying to hurry up and get off what you feel me, so you already preparing what you want to say to dude, you feel me, that's on the phone with you, or the girl that's on the phone with you, so that you can let that person know that you knowledgeable too. And you barely listening. You missing all them gems because you trying to prepare, you know what I'm saying, to impress somebody, you feel me, that it really don't even fucking matter. You feel me? The whole point is for you to obtain those gems. That's why or she is talking to you. You know what I mean? So that's also a form of ineffective communication. Just listen. You know what I mean? And another thing, when like in conversations or like whether it's one on one, like 5 people, 4 people, 10 people, whatever the case may be, like when it is time to listen, it is time to listen. You know what I'm saying? Duality. There is times to speak, there is times to listen. You know what I mean? You don't have to speak all the time. You know what I mean? Because I am a very talkative person. Once I get, stuff flowing and I'm cool with, certain individuals type shit. But if I'm getting game, you feel me? And somebody is giving me gems, I'm trying my best to listen to them and to tune out any thoughts that's trying to, prepare themselves to come after what that person is saying, so I can really hone in to the gems that they saying to me. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody is giving me game and giving me gems, effective gems that I resonate with, I'm quiet as a church mouse. You know what I mean? Because you have to know when it's time to speak and when it's time to listen. Duality and balance. All right, I'm going to leave that where that's at. And y'all have a peaceful and positive dark hour or a beautiful grand rising day whenever y'all listen to this. But peace in.